We got some very, very last minute price leaks for the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL, and I can keep it together. It's all right. It's just, I really hope this is fake. I'm really hoping these aren't real. I hope that we're drastically not understanding the price points, but if these are true, dear God, why? So the price leaks, as some of you may have heard already, start the Pixel 3 off. Not the XL, just the small size version. The probably better version, the one without the notch, but just looks like a Pixel 2 XL, just a little bit smaller and with wireless charging. Well, that one starts at $930, which was way more than I thought it was gonna be. If you guys been watching me for a while, you remember that I was really recommending Google this year try to make their prices a little bit more competitive, and that could justify the lacking in features, lack of exclusivity that iOS and both Samsung have in their favor. Samsung's the king of having a bunch of features. Apple's the king of being exclusive and having things no one else has. Google needs more than just the camera quality's okay. I know a lot of people prefer the Pixel camera, but arguably that is a very subjective thing. Some people prefer the way it handles color preferences. Some people prefer the way it's able to crank out a really high crisp image. But I mean, even DxOMark now, the company that got big and famous because of the Pixel phone, admits that there's way better smartphone cameras out there, most of which have more than one camera on the back, and Google's still sticking to their guns with having one rear-facing camera and saying, AI, machine learning, that's okay, that'll fix everything, right? But still, $930 is quite the price raise, especially if Google doesn't plan on unveiling any other phones this year. There's some rumors going around that they're going to be working on a third phone. Maybe that'll be cheaper, more affordable, or it could be way more expensive. I have honestly no idea which way it could go at this point, but if it goes the way it did last year, and halfway through the Pixel 2 lifespan, they decide to stop selling the first generation Google Pixel and just say, nope, the latest Pixel, that's the only one you need to look at. Don't buy the old Pixel 2. Don't buy any older generation of the Pixel. We're only going to be selling the latest version. That means that the Pixel starting price could be, theoretically, at this time next year, $930. Starting price. As in, if you want a Pixel phone from Google, you cannot buy one for lower than that, which would be insane to me. That's worse than Apple's pricing. Even Apple has the budget options out there. They keep selling the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus for people who just want a phone that works. They don't need any fancy features. It's ridiculous to me that this pricing is somewhat supposed to be true, especially when the keynote is just a couple days away. That's usually when leaks and reports get much more accurate at the last minute. So I'm hoping these aren't real, but it gets worse. The Pixel 3 XL starts at $1,000. Yes, the Pixel 3 XL with the giant fat notch. The Pixel 3 XL with the same camera on the back as the smaller Pixel 3. The Pixel 3 XL that's getting wireless charging at the last part of 2018. The phone that's getting a Snapdragon 845 at the end of 2018 and charging $1,000 because pure Android, right? It's just so clean. It's just so fluid and smooth. I know that a bunch of YouTubers are going to get theirs for free. I technically am, because I did a deal with For the Love of Tech where he's agreed to send me one. If I use it as my phone for a month, I get to keep it, which I've agreed to. Really hoping I can make it through the month, but Google, I have to just ask with these prices, why? I mean, really. To be fair, I was a little bit confused why Samsung decided with the Note 9 to raise their prices a little bit, because I thought it was a fairly standard upgrade and I didn't really see what extra there was to pay for. They added Bluetooth to the S Pen, they added stereo speakers, a Snapdragon 845, and that warranted a $70 raise in retail price from $930 to $1,000. I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit bizarre, but overall, the Note 9 was still an enjoyable phone. I liked using it. It was fine. But what Google did is what I would critique Samsung for times 10. Not only would they be raising their price from their larger size XL form factor, they're not raising the price $70 higher. They would be raising the price $150 higher. And once again, I have to ask, for what reason? What are you getting with the Pixel 3 XL that you wouldn't get with a 2? Oh, don't worry. It's very simple. All you get is a big fat notch and wireless charging. That's about it. There's a Snapdragon 845, but other than that, the squeeze feature's still there. Oh, and Gadget already did a video on the 3XL because apparently if you're at the right place at the right time in Hong Kong, you can buy the 3XL already, though they probably charge them like $3,000 for it. Here's something you've never heard of before. The front-facing camera has 2 lenses now. Oh, so Google, are you suggesting something? I haven't heard of this. Are you suggesting that maybe having 2 lenses, having 2 cameras that take pictures at different focal lengths, are you saying that could be helpful? Are you saying that it provides more options and it provides more customization optimization for the user to be able to have more than one lens, so you can take selfies that are either wider or more narrow. Interesting, because someone last year was saying dual cameras don't matter because you can figure out how to do portrait effects and therefore a telephoto lens has no purpose. Google, you gotta stop shooting yourselves in the foot, okay? The one thing I'm hoping for this year is that you don't diss on any iPhone or any Galaxy because you keep banging your head against the wall with these marketing terms, whether it be, we still have a headphone jack, dual camera, no need. Oh, by the way, we added a dual camera. So I guess it was needed. Now, I also hate to bring this up, but the LG V40 just came out and no one really cares about it, but it has two lenses on the front as well. And it starts at $900, so it's a little bit cheaper. So once again, it looks like Google is just saying that this phone is premium because of the price point. A lot of the arguments I hear made against Apple, I feel like have to be exponentially worse when made against the Pixel team, because a lot of people act like Apple prices iPhones the way they do just because expensive phones makes them premium. It's like a Gucci, it's like a Supreme shirt. Because it's expensive, it is therefore premium, and that's how premium works. I don't think that's how it works, and also, given the manufacturing costs that we looked at in the last video when we found out the iPhone XS Max, while the parts themselves only cost $440, there is no other smartphone on the market right now with parts that cost more than that. So while this may be a very, very expensive flagship, the parts that go into it are more expensive than any other parts in any other smartphone. So I think the price is justified. Also, not to mention fastest CPU in a smartphone, one of the best displays out there, winning countless awards for the quality. Hopefully the Pixel doesn't have another belly flop with display colors this time around. I love how people love to get all uppity about the Pixel 2. The colors and the accuracy and the lighting whenever I take a picture on the Pixel 2 is so beautiful. But also, the display was screwed up at the beginning of the year and it couldn't even display a full range of colors like most smartphones could. They just had that feature off for some reason. I don't know why. But it's ridiculous to me that in October of all times in the year, you're going to unveil a $1,000 Android phone and the primary new thing is Notch. You know, the S9 had a Snapdragon 845 that starts at $720. The Note 9 at $1,000 gives you 5 other features, whether it be headphone jack, expandable storage, still running Android, but OnePlus 6 out there running the Snapdragon 845, way cheaper than any Pixel phone. Not to mention, like, even the Pocophone. You know, you don't often hear me bring that up, but your flagship new addition to the lineup cannot be, we updated the CPU, therefore it's okay that we rose the price $150 more than last year. That's just ridiculous to me, and it really makes me scared that Google is just like, well, since it's priced like an iPhone, it's an iPhone competitor. Google, your sales are low. You realize that, right? If you were charging this much for a phone, but every year everyone kept buying it and making it one of the most top-selling smartphones every year, then it would not be the same debate, because then you could say, well, I think it's overpriced for me, but clearly there's a market for this. There's a lot of people who want to buy this phone. Therefore, I could understand that Samsung or Apple, they're doing something right because they're catering to a certain market. That market seems to be happy, and they seem to have a lot of loyalty to that brand, whether it be Apple or Samsung or OnePlus, any number of companies. But when your sales are tanking and no one really cares about your phone unless it's handed to them for free because they're a YouTuber, then that means you got to change your tactics. You can't just keep doing the same exact thing year after year after year and expect sales to change. More people bought Apple Watches than Pixel phones, which is what's funny to me when a lot of tech YouTubers are like, oh, the Apple Watch, forget it. Who cares about the watch? Let's move on from that. Let's talk about this Pixel phone. At least cater to your own demographic, Google. If you're going to unveil the Pixel 3 with all of its very small changes compared to last year's Pixel 2, you gotta justify that price raise. Not to mention, the starting price of the Pixel 2 is $650. If these leaks end up being correct, which, like I said, I really hope they're not, and the Pixel 3 starts at $930, that's a starting price jump of over $200. Almost a $300 price jump for the sake of what exactly? What are you getting? Oh, the front-facing camera zooms out a little bit more. You can get a little bit wider of a selfie. After we made fun of companies for having dual cameras, we did one ourselves, and now that's the only new feature we can advertise. Oh, and wireless charging. But my whole confusion with wireless charging is, if you cared about wireless charging in 2018, you definitely weren't an owner of a Pixel phone. If you wanted something with wireless charging, you had countless other cheaper options than a Pixel with Snapdragon 845s and headphone jacks and headphones included with the purchase. You had plenty of things to choose from. So if you're a Pixel fan, still right now to this day, you probably don't care that much about wireless charging. So the fact that they're adding it is kind of like a, oh yeah, that's there. Pixel fans out there probably would just tell you, I don't really care that much about wireless charging, which means that the giant, most noticeable change in the Pixel 3 3 is something that most Pixel fans don't really care about. That's what's so sad about this refresh, especially if these prices end up being true. And now there's less and less evidence to support that a Pixel Ultra is actually happening. So blame us YouTubers. I guess we got you hyped up for nothing. So hopefully it's real. Hopefully these prices are not. As I've been suggesting earlier this year, I was really hoping Google could be more competitive in that department, more compete with the OnePlus line, and just try to get as many Pixel phones out there as they could and just focus on quantity. That would have been much better for Google, but nah. Samsung made a $1,000 phone. Apple made a $1,000 phone. We got to make $1,000 too, right? Does it matter why it's 1,000? No, doesn't really matter. Just as long as it's 1,000, it's premium. And what are your reasons again, Pixel fans? Oh yeah, colors on that camera quality. They're just really accurate. It's an extremely common complaint, right? Everyone taking pictures with Pixel 2 is like, man, that green leaf just isn't really that green. I'm really hoping with the next Pixel they'll really make a green leaf look better. Yeah, I can't wait to see how you guys somehow defend the camera this time around, especially without bringing up video, because Android in the video department is extremely limited by that Snapdragon chip. At least Samsung has the Exynos chip in some countries. You know, we can't get that there. Google is just stuck with the Snapdragon. They can't change that. iPhones can record 4K at infinite times as long as you got storage, but it runs pure Android. That's what matters to me. Well, the OnePlus does too. So just, I don't get it. If you're biased because you just like things in a certain way, bring that up. Just admit that. You're biased towards the Pixel. That's fine. I do the same thing towards Apple. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you in the next one.